Okay, everybody, I am going to introduce the president of the Louisville Bats Baseball Club, Mr. Vic Gregovitz. Thank you so much for coming on today, and we appreciate all of your beautiful insight that I know you're going to share with us. But before we really get into the nuts and bolts, tell us a little bit more about yourself, your background, how long you've been in the industry, a little bit more about your role and when you started.
Sure. Well, it's good to be with you this morning. Anytime that we get to talk baseball, we get to talk sports. It's all good. So, in my background, I went to Robert Morris University for sport management long time ago, and over a course of 30 years almost, have been able to be in Major League Baseball, the NBA, the NFL, indoor soccer, and now MILB with the bats. And in the bat scenario is before COVID. Let's say that we had a staff of 35 that we really did everything. We run the facility and we do everything from A to Z at the facility, sales, marketing, everything from a bats perspective. So this has obviously been a significant change, and it's one of those ones that we thought, the entertainment industry, the sports industry, you always think that it's kind of safe, if you will, but it obviously has really been hit hard.
Yeah, that seems to be the common theme with talking to anybody in the industry, whether, a president of the organization like you are, all the way to some of the people that are assistant GMs that have lost their position or been furloughed and so forth. The hardest part is that none of us, we thought we were recession proof.
Right.
Nobody expected a pandemic to come across and do anything.
Right.
Now, that moment when you knew that your season was canceled, how did you handle that emotionally and personally?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm a optimistic person by nature, and always believed that we were going to have some version of minor league baseball, uh, through the pandemic, and as we got through it. Initially, we thought it was going to be a few weeks. We thought we were going to be delayed a few weeks. Kept everybody on board. Kept forging ahead for 2020 season. And I've only been here just over a year and a half, and we have 11 new front office employees. Our marketing department, new in game. Everybody was excited to showcase everything that they had spent the whole off season putting together. Um, and then it became apparent that that there was not going to be a season, and tried to prep everybody for that. It's really hard to, because we didn't really have a definitive answer. We were kind of out there a little bit for a period of time, and just keeping everybody positive. So you know looking forward to a season. What can we do extra to get ready and prepared? What can we do to clean up the database? What can we do to our building to get things ready? And again, trying to find things that would help us, because I kind of felt that when the word came go, it was going to come fast, and we were going to need to be ready fast and quickly. So then the word, or the knowledge that the season was not going to happen, was, we had really looked forward to it. Pretty traumatic, not only professionally but personally. It's one of those things, you look for. That's what we do. You know that. We look forward to the season. We look forward to opening day, and you do all the off-season work getting ready for the season. That's what we live for. So shifting gears, how do we program the building? How do we do events? How do we create revenue um, between now and 2021? And then also, what about all of our season ticket holders? What about our suite holders? What about our corporate partners? We had been in touch with them, really not in a sales mode, but much more of, how you doing? Is everything okay? So forth and so on. How can we do some community involvement together? Um, those kind of things. And then we had to shift gears and say, can you roll 2020 over to 2021, and still doing a little bit of that today. But then one thing, and I don't think we've talked about this, we tried to do is we thought we could help our restaurant partners and drive people to their stores and do curbside pickup or to go, however you want to look at it. And then we came up with a program through augmented reality where our mascot, Buddy Bat, would be at our partners' restaurants. And if you took a picture of yourself, downloaded the app, Imagine AR, took a picture in front of the restaurant, which was geo-fenced, and sent it to us, you were eligible for prizes. So again, trying to help drive traffic to our partners, rewarding people, whether they be tickets, they be first pitches, they be a night in the suite. We kind of shifted mode to that. And then today, I mean, we are ramping up, figuratively, ramping up to 2021 and trying to put everything in place and business plans, reaching out to people. And again, it's, you know, it is still more of I don't want to say a soft sell, but it's more of a touch base. How are you doing? How are you thinking about 2021 to people as well?
Well, and keeping those relationships. I mean, we all know that
Yeah.
the basis of sales for good sales is a
Hmm.
relationship, and the interpersonal relationship, professional, however you want to deem it. I think that April date when all of us are sitting there on opening day of 2021, and the moment that the national anthem is started, and each of us that are employees that were robbed of that moment from the year before, I think there's going to be more than not shedding a tear or two because we've made it, and
Right.
I think that's that moment that everyone, I mean, you're smiling because it's that moment that you go, oh, I did it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's game time. Like, now we gotta go. Now we've got
It-
guests to finish taking care of and so forth. But
I
as we
I was just going to say, in my 18 years of baseball, there is nothing like opening day and that feeling. Everything that you've worked for, and the staff has worked for, and everybody has collectively worked for it. And it's the beginning of baseball. It's the beginning of spring slash summer. It will never get old.
ever. No, ever. And that's why we do it and that's why we push for it. So, as you had mentioned, as we begin this grind toward 2021, what are some things that you're envisioning and hoping for culturally as a community, as a baseball community, both, nationally, but also individually in your, in the BATS organization? What are some things that you're envisioning and hoping to achieve?
Yeah, I think in our case specifically is become even more. I think the pandemic has taught us even more involved within the community. So community engagement would definitely be a part of it. I think it has also taught us that as we create these events, is that as we move forward, this could be a significant revenue stream for us moving forward. There's no reason to stop. You're going to work around a baseball schedule in 2021, but we'll have that opportunity to do it as well, and really to celebrate baseball, celebrate community, and I think there'll be a significant amount of pent up demand of people looking to get out once we're past this and enjoying a sunny afternoon at a baseball game.
Oh, I agree. I absolutely agree. I think community involvement is going to be a key. I mean, we have a unique platform in the minor league system anyway to be a big proponent of community and for all these young children and adults to be an example for people. And
Yeah.
as America's pastime, as cliche as that sounds, it gives people the opportunity to forget what's going on outside for
And,
just a few, hours.
and I think too, we have talked about a whole week, if not a whole month, of celebrating, first responders and recognizing and honoring first responders, healthcare workers. I mean, there's so many different. I mean, UPS is corporate headquarters is in Louisville, so I mean, all of those folks that have worked resiliently through this whole thing, so that we can keep moving forward and enjoy a lot of things. Well, we are closed up in our houses. Amazon, for example, a lot of Amazon boxes and so forth. But we want to make sure that we appreciate those folks as well.
Absolutely. Now, on a fun note, what is something different that you've done during COVID that maybe you wouldn't have done? Maybe you picked up a new trade or new books or things like that. For me, I started painting rooms. Like,
Yeah, I have done a significant amount of audiobooks. I have, at any chance I get to be on a webinar or try to learn a little bit more or learn, in our business, what are group sales going to look like post-pandemic, post-COVID? Who knows? One of those kind of things. But on a personal note, I don't think I have walked by, and probably never will again, a sanitizer without putting some in my hands. So how about that?
that's hilarious. I love it. I know I've never been a germaphobe until all of this
Yeah.
started. So, Vic, I beyond appreciate your time. And if anybody hasn't had the beautiful opportunity of meeting Mr. Vic, I strongly suggest you reach out through LinkedIn. He is a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of information, and just a really good person for people to know. So appreciate your time so very much.
No, I appreciate it, and to everybody out there, this will pass too, and remain positive, remain optimistic. So, appreciate the time and the insight, and it's been great to get to know you as well.